What do you got for me today?
Well, let's just improvise. For the last 10 years, we've grown to be 5,000 Yazidis here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
This is all new to me, but why I love music so much is because it brings people together. 1, 2, ready, go.
A lot of conversations open up through music, and I think those conversations go beyond music.
The fun of music for me is to change it, and I don't want to sound like everyone else.
We don't have any books on our culture, so music has been one of the most effective ways to learn about the past and to pass it on to the future.
So here we are, Lincoln, Nebraska, Golden Scissors Barbershop. This is your shop.
Yes.
How long has this spot been here?
This spot has been here for 9 years.
But when you're not cutting hair, some other things happen in here. Could you tell us kind of about the transformation to this barbershop?
Sure. So this is a barbershop. We're open 5 days a week. I've been doing this for 20 years. When it's closed, usually on weekends or any other day, it's a jamming sessions of music here. So I invite a lot of artists like Tye to come in here and we jam together and we share our music together. And I'm always willing to learn new music.
1, 2, ready, go. I forgot the beat again. Say it again. There it is. Okay, do it again. There you go.
I want to maybe, Hassan, start with you and tell me a little bit really simply about where you're from and when you came here to Lincoln.
I've been here in Lincoln, Nebraska for 12 years. I lived in Buffalo, New York for 12 years prior to that.
And you come from the Yazidi community.
Well, yeah, we are a small religion in northern Iraq and other areas in the Middle East. It's called Yazidi.
And what's your family's story?
Well, my family immigrated from northern Iraq back in 1988 at the end of Iran and Iraq war. I moved to the States when I was 15. The Yazidi, we are now here 5,000 people in Lincoln, Nebraska.
And Tye, how about you? Where are you from and when did you come here to Lincoln?
I came to Lincoln about 20 years ago. I was born in San Diego, California, and been playing music all my life, basically. I was mostly influenced by the drummers when I was a young kid. I put on the headphones and listened to my dad's record, Elton John, The Foreigner to Sister Sledge. I would practice hitting my hands in the air every time they'd make the cymbal sound.
And what brought you to Lincoln?
A band. I formed a band called Angel Apparition back in the 90s, and that's the story of when I came to Lincoln. Angel Apparition is a little bit different. It's really dark and it's all about emotion. But the other band I have is pretty successful. It's called Pasty Jenny. Pasty Jenny's more like happy, it's a big party, everybody have fun, good times.
So Hassan, for you, what kind of music was part of your early life?
Ever since I remember, the person that influenced me in music is my father. He loved music. He never did it as a career. He'd never been on any radios, any television. In our refugee camps, almost every family had the Yazidi saz. So ever since I remember, ever since my memory can go back, my dad was singing and playing that. And often he will have people around him, other singers. Most of their music was about stories of Yazidis And most of those were about genocides and wars that happened. They put into music, and they wanted the next generation to know. Because I come from a culture that do not have a book. We don't have a book that we study to be religious. We don't have any books on our cultures. So music has been one of the most effective way to learn about the past of our culture and to pass it on to the future.
Hassan, when you first came to Lincoln, what was your sense of this place?
To be honest, I did not want to move to Lincoln at first. I was really established businessman in Buffalo, New York. I had my barbershop. I was really established, well known in the community. So I did not want to move to Lincoln when we first moved.
Obviously, the shift from a refugee camp to Buffalo is one part of the story.
Sure.
And then from Buffalo to Lincoln is also quite a shift.
Different story, definitely. All the struggles were in Buffalo, New York. All the challenges when first moving to America. Not being educated, coming through from the refugee camps. We had very little education. I was 14, 15. Most kids in my age already knew so much more about history, about geography, about math, and about everything else. So it was a cultural shock moving to Buffalo, New York. We have to relearn everything. Going through ESL classes, going to extra classes after school, blending in with the community and in the culture, it was really hard. It took years and many challenges. Moving to Nebraska was kind of easier. The reason why we moved here was because of the Yazidi community. And somehow we're all connected to each other because we all knew each other from the refugee camps. For the last 10 years, now we've grown to be 5,000 Yazidis here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
I wanted to just read a couple of statistics. Lincoln is home to more than 30,000 immigrants from more than 150 countries. 12th largest refugee resettlement city in America per capita. In 2013, it was named one of the top 10 most welcoming cities in the United States. 2016, a very difficult and tumultuous time politically in this country. Nebraska received more refugees per capita than any other state. So Tye, when you first came to Lincoln, were you aware of the Yazidi community here?
No, I wasn't aware till just now, really, about all this. This is amazing. Congratulations. I mean, that's great.
Thank you, Tye.
You got family with you. That must feel good.
Your experience of Lincoln was very much not connected with the large immigrant population or refugee populations here, or were there moments?
Completely opposite for me. Family, we have a big family, and I wanted to get away from them. My family wasn't supportive of me playing music. They wanted me to go to college, obviously. And so I just was going to go show them wrong. See what I did?
Thank you. It's good.
Your way
I
and
got
then my
questions.
way.
I
Yes,
got questions. Walk me through what was happening. So what was the melody that you were playing? Where does that come from?
The melody is a really old Syrian dance music, which is Kurdish, Yazidi, Middle Eastern in general.
Where would people normally hear that melody?
Well, that melody would normally be like in cultural dances, the long finger dance.
Weddings?
Weddings is really an old melody. No one really knows who composed it, but everybody kind of plays it differently.
I mean, Tye, it's so cool like watching you play when you're playing with Hassan, is I can see you trying to customize your like regular mode of playing in a beautiful way, like with a totally open spirit to really push yourself to be like, I want to play in a way that matches what he's playing. Was there a struggle for you in trying to match the way you normally play with what
Definitely.
that melody?
The dance beat's always, and I'm always doing double feet and stopping the feet and adding stuff. In this particular, it's less is more.
What he's playing, if I heard that 25 years ago when I lived in refugee camps, I would be confused. Now I'm not confused and I can feel it.
Curious for you, Tye, the more you were hearing these melodies, as a drummer, where were you trying to find your way in?
It's like I get that drum beat, I want to try to find a way to change it, but still be the same and be good. And I know a couple spots, today I did that, and it was amazing. It's the same thing, but I put something in there. And I don't sound like all the other guys. That's important to me. I can already do all that. I don't want to sound like everyone else.
So like someone else's sound helped you make your own sound.
Exactly. The fun of music for me is to change it. I'm not trying to be, I don't like it to be the same. I don't like that. That's what I don't like.
Hassan, could you just play what would be considered a traditional Yazidi piece? I think would be great. And is it fair to say, Hassan, that traditional Yazidi music usually does have lyrics?
Definitely, this has lyrics. This particular song is a traditional that was renewed by a Yazidi singer who went to Germany. He was kind of like saying what he went through. So he missed home, he felt lost. With this song, he's like, I feel lost. You know, it's like they forced me to leave my land. It's a story. It's hard to explain every word in English.
And not written down, right? But passed down.
It's not written
orally.
down.
Yeah.
None of this is written down. None of our music is really, really written down. I did not think I could play any other music. I was embarrassed and shy to play my music in front of others. I did not know people were gonna accept it at first. But again, being around so many cultures of different music, like I heard rock music living in Buffalo, New York. I heard a lot of rap, a lot of Latino. So when I moved here, I was still kind of not sure if our music could be out anywhere beside the Yazidi or Middle Eastern community. For the past 6-7 years, it has been. We've did events like Uncle Sam Jam for July 4th, and that was something going in the public and seeing people dance to our music. And that was the first time ever playing outside of our culture. Those were like the confident moments, like, okay, you know, there's people that can feel our music. And I've never ever in my life played with a live drummer. But I was at a point where I believed me and Tye could do some music together. Let's try one more with this, with these strings, Turkish strings.
What's this one like?
So this is where we normally play.
I got it.
You got it?
Let me see what I want to do to it. Okay, ready? I'll start it and you come in.
You mentioned that you played at an event here in Lincoln called Uncle Sam's Jam.
Yes.
So when I hear that on the surface, I think, oh, that's going to be an event where it's going to be all white bands playing music that is superficially American. And here in Lincoln, you can have an Uncle Sam's Jam with a very nationalistic frame.
Sure.
That includes refugees and immigrant musicians.
And that's what I loved about Lincoln, because we're all here is a big community, really diverse community of different cultures around the world, and it's kind of everyone accept each other and they want to learn about each other.
In terms of the news and following the news, one of the reasons we are here is to think about where we are as a country right now in terms of the intense political division, the intense fragmentation and divisiveness just of opinions and ideologies, the kind of lack of middle ground. You're either over here or you're over there. In musical terms, you know, you're on either on input 1 or you're on input 2, but where's the crossfade, right? I'd love to hear just from, you know, from both you, kind of your sense of this growing division in the country and kind of how it's impacted you.
I got people believing stuff that I know isn't true. And so I know it isn't true, I've lived it, but they've been pumped every day on their Facebook or their phone all day long, and they start believing stuff that isn't real. And to my knowledge, that is why the world is divided now. Some people believe that night is day and day is night because the computer is telling them on their phone all day. They're getting brainwashed and they're not realizing that they're getting told what they want, which is a lie.
You've been speaking about the rise of misinformation,
Right.
and the extent to which misinformation has been so easily spread across social media sites through algorithms that are changing the way people, whether on the left or the right, think about themselves. And this has been a
Right.
huge, huge issue.
Right.
So a lot of stuff on social media that can divide us. You know, that could definitely make a division within our communities, and a division is never good, because that just makes us weaker, and it separates us. Music is bringing us together from different cultures. Like, we're Yazidi from Middle East, Tye and Mike both are American natives. Jafid is from Rwanda. Arkan, known from the refugee camps. Ziad also came from the refugee work with that, and we're all here together.
I met Hassan when he was a little kid because he's my cousin.
All these guys never ever played a song together, ever in their life. They never practiced together. They never had a jam session. So this is something that we're just gonna kind of improvise and see what everybody can bring.
I got one last question. How many of them have you cut their hair?
I've cut Jafet is here. I've cut Arkan is here. I've cut Ziad is here. They're on the line. I get. I know.
I think somebody's missing.
I just love guys' names, man.
One of the things within this context of debate and division is defining what is American and what it means to be American.
To me, American, just to make it to America was like a biggest dream. And it's still true, because we have all those opportunities to be a good citizen, leave positive footprints behind you. We can make a life, and my kids could be happy, go to school, and hopefully become something in the future. And that's all I want from life, personally.
Tye, what about for you? Do you think much about this category of American?
Yeah, a lot. I would put it as being a team, and that if you're on our team, we're all together and we stand up for each other, like a family. What I like about people that have come to Lincoln that are refugees and stuff, they are proud of what they are and they put their best foot forward. But it seems like some of the American people are mad that they're here, or they're mad about other stuff, and they're not putting their best foot forward, and they're shaming themselves.
One of the places where that idea of the team is so obvious to me is in music. So if you look at a band, it doesn't matter where each band member's from, it doesn't matter where they were each trained. What matters is, can you get in the room together and make something more beautiful than you could make on your own, right? And if you're not individual and different in the space of the band, that's your strength to make something bigger. Is there power in music for helping us think through all these divisions?
I think that music can touch people emotionally and spiritually, and it'll make the divides go out of their mind while music is being done. The problem is keeping it there when the music stops playing.
Well, for me, I definitely believe power of music could bring us together, and we could get to know each other and accept each other and know more about each other through music. I believe that.